non-self-sabotaging habits, non-self-sabotaging ways of being. Like that can be an escape too. Like I got my escape plan. I've got the right thinking. That's your escape plan. So that's the equation. Right. Trauma leads to pain, which leads to escape in all situations. That's just the human condition. Nice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the MD and Chef Team podcast. Great to have you here with us today. This is Chef Michael here, culinary nutrition expert at Doctoronamission, and I'm joined today by my beautiful wife, Isabel, the medical doctor at Doctoronamission, and I'm going to be interviewing her today. I'm going to be interviewing you, my dear.
Yes, that's
How about that?
Very good.
So what is the topic of this podcast today?
Well, the topic is a question. Have you ever wondered what to do when anxiety comes and knocks on your door, as it does in life? Well, that's what we're going to be focusing on today. This is going to be a short one, but it's going to be a kapow.
Kapow.
Kind of like what life does to you.
I have a feeling it's going to be pretty good because
we've had a couple of kapows.
Yeah. Could you give everyone a few examples of what do you mean by like surprises of life or anxiety can hit us? And
absolutely.
Come up to us.
So examples of life surprises. Let's say, for instance, you're married and your marriage is not doing well. Like Michael and I had a really rough patch when we were at 25 years of being together, and it was ugly and messy and hard. And I really honestly didn't know if I was going to make it through onto the other side. We did. We went through it.
Because now we're at 43.
Yeah, now we're at 43 and 37 more to go, right?
At least.
Yeah.
No expiration date.
That's right. But marriage, I mean, that brought on a lot of anxiety to me. Finances. Any financial problems happening in your life? Does that bring on any anxiety for you? Does that keep you awake in the middle of the night? We've had our fair share of financial stresses, right, Beb?
I would have to say that's probably one of the biggest ones out there in the world. I mean, I would imagine every human being, even those who have become millionaires, billionaires, financially successful in whatever level, I can guarantee you that they've had times where they're just thinking, oh my gosh, this is bad. I feel really not well right now about that.
Right. And I'm sure their sleep is affected. And if not their sleep, because that wouldn't be your issue because you have no problem sleeping, but during the day, attacks of anxiety.
Yeah.
And then kids, for those of you with kids, they're wayward. They're not with the right people. You see them going down and spiraling down, and you're concerned about their well-being. Work. Are you working in an environment that's helping you, or is it a bullying workplace? Is the culture not supporting you? Well, that can bring on anxiety, just driving into work and thinking, oh man, I really don't want to go to work, but I got to go to work because I got to pay the bills. Those are bits of anxiety attacks throughout the day. And so I want to talk to you about some of the things that you can do that I learned, and Michael has learned also from one of our mentors, John Maxwell. And yeah, if you haven't read any of his books are phenomenal. They really help you just be ready and to be a leader, not only in your home, but in the workplace, in your business, and in this world. Because he's a master in leadership training, wouldn't you say?
Yes, yeah. I would say.
Yeah. So John says, before any of these things happen to you that I just discussed, decide how you're going to respond. I love that. You know, be prepared, because the thing is, life's going to happen. And I'm not talking about waiting for or dreading, for something bad to happen. When things are good, oh no, this is too good, something bad's going to happen. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, when things happen, we got to be prepared.
Yeah.
And these are some ideas of what you can do in yourself to prepare yourself. So John says, decide how you are going to respond so you don't have to wrestle with these when they occur. So it's all upstream. It's let's be prepared upstream before the downstream event. The downstream event being marriage problems, relationship problems, financial problems, health problems. We didn't even talk about that. Kid problems, friend problems, all those world problems that we're seeing around the world. So number one is, he says, attitude. Make a decision and say, I will choose and display the right attitudes daily. Now that is tricky.
It is a tricky one.
Yeah, because that's testing your character. And your character by definition, is just how you consistently are, your habits, your consistent habits. So are you somebody who does the right thing? Are you somebody that stands up for the right thing? Are you somebody that is honest? I mean, those are all good characters that we need more and more in this world. So just decide what your attitude's going to be. Did you want to say, you butt in if you've got anything to say, okay?
No, I love this, because it's so much about, we are looking at anxiety here, and it's going to occur because of dailies, like kapows, life kapows. But it just, while you're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, it's so much about prevention. I mean, we talk about prevention with health, but it's about prevention with brain health here, and anxiety, depression, overwhelm, any of those terms you want to use, that we're actually preventing, we're setting ourselves up for success later on. It doesn't mean it's not going to hit us, but how we, as you said, respond. And it's really kind of hitting me right now too, to think about, okay, am I making sure that I'm set up for the stuff that's going to happen in life? That's the key. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
Life's going to come. But if we're not prepared, we're just going to really falter and crumble. So yeah, I love how this discussion you're bringing to us here, for us all to understand this is really prevention in these areas, not just health, but about anxiety, overwhelm, and depression. That how are we setting ourselves up to?
Because it's going to happen sooner. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do? Are people going to go to pornography? I mean, look, the equation that Dr. Gabor Mate has taught us is, we all have trauma, which results in pain. Then that results in escape. And we all escape in different ways. And we escape by gambling, drinking, pornography, adultery, overeating, shopping, or we can escape into happy, healthy habits. I don't know if happy is the right word. I'm sorry, that was the wrong word. Non-self-sabotaging habits, non-self-sabotaging ways of being. Like that can be an escape too. Like, I got my escape plan. I've got the right thinking. That's your escape plan. So that's the equation. Trauma leads to pain, which leads to escape in all situations. That's just the human condition.
Nice.
And gosh, we see so many bad ways of escaping.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one that John recommends is health, the topic of health. He says, I will know and follow healthy guidelines daily. Daily. Did you know? Daily.
It's not like, oh, once in a while. Oh, no, I think he said daily.
Yeah. And Michael and I go by we recommend everybody to go by the 80-20 rule. If you're starting out 80% of the time, you're doing it right. 20%, okay, you fall off. That's okay. You'll course correct 80-20. And then you'll get to the 90-10. We'll never be 100. It's just not realistic.
100% isn't realistic. It's not good for people, because eventually they're going to crash and burn. If I'm thinking I'm going to be on 100% every day, always, you just not, it's not going to work.
It's not.
We're not wired that way as human beings.
Yeah, we're not robots.
No.
You know.
Yeah, we're not wired that way.
Yeah.
So if you can be an 80-20 as far as being on, you're absolutely correct. Maybe you can get to 90-10, but
you can get to 90-10. It's a decision, but it's constant course correction.
Yeah. Daily habits. Yes.
Now, family.
Ooh, how long are you gonna go up on this one?
Sizzle. Family, this is what John recommends, and I wholeheartedly support him. I will communicate with and care with my family daily. And that includes not being critical of them or judgmental. Okay, just love them. They're doing the best they can. Connect with them. For instance, Michael and I have 2 daughters in other parts of the world, and my mom, who is in 98, gosh, it blows my mind, who's like really with the program. And we definitely communicate with those 3 family members very often throughout the week, because that's important for our hearts and their hearts.
I would say daily with at least one of the 3. Daily, and some
daily.
days all 3.
Yeah, some days we're blessed to speak to all 3. So just know that you need to connect, just reach out like E.T. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but E.T. phone home. And so phone home into people's hearts, and check their temperature and see how they're doing. And one of the things I say to our girls is, how's your heart? And they're like, oh, Mom. But they know what I mean.
Here she comes.
Oh, no, you're so intense, Mom. That's me. I'm your mom for the rest of your life. So here I am. So check in with the family.
And we know the family thing isn't always easy. For a lot of people, the family thing is a mess. Even around this time of the year, the holiday season, people come together, but yet they don't want to come together. So it's not an easy one. And I mean, a lot of these areas aren't easy, but it's important. It's important.
Yeah.
Do the best you can I think, as you said, the best thing is just love them. Don't be judgmental. Don't be too harsh. And
we echo that back and forth with each other all the time, don't we?
Do the best you can. Yeah.
Just don't judge people. All people need is love.
Yeah.
Love never. I've got a little sign right behind this. It's a heart that I drew, and it says, love never fails. It always works. Love never fails. It always works.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a reminder to me.
That's a tweetable.
Yeah, that's a tweetable. Well, it's from the good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Finances. Oh, yeah. I will earn and properly manage finances daily. Why daily? Because that way you won't find yourself without money and you won't have to stress out. And that was a big lesson for us.
Yeah,
that took us a couple of decades to get down, because we were like sieves. Money would come in and money would go out. We never learned how to take care of our finances. So I encourage you, if you don't want to experience issues with money, with anxiety with the money, learn how to manage your money. Buy books, take courses, get a coach get an accountant. Our accountant is amazing at helping us not manage, but be smart with our money. Be
aware of your money, be smart with it, use it financially wise. But what I see here with what you're saying is daily is, I think one of our mistakes was we would just let it go, and we weren't actually paying attention to what was going on. One of the first things we had to do was start tracking it. I've heard many a financial guru say, if you don't know where all your money's going, because you're going, well, how is it all gone at the end of the month? We made money and it's all gone, and and there's nothing left. Well, then one of the first things we do, if you remember, was kept the receipt for everything, even if it was something for, I don't know if you can get anything for 50 cents anymore, but back in the day, even if it was, something for 50 cents, we kept the receipt. And it started to have you realize, oh my gosh, look at all these little things I'm spending money on, so it was becoming that awareness
Mhm.
by some practices to realize, okay, I can see now, I can
Mhm.
start to see where this is all going,
Mhm.
why I'm at the end of the month being anxious and overwhelmed and feeling depressed because there's nothing that I
There was more month than money,
more
that
month to money,
statement,
that
yeah.
statement, yeah, so it's really starting to understand daily, well, what am I doing daily here? And then just, going from there, then setting up monthly budgets and
Monthly budget.
yeah, I know. Well, we didn't want to bother with that. Why didn't we bother with it? Because we knew it was going to be out of whack and out of line. So
Yeah.
I don't even want to set that up because this is going to be horrible and scary.
But you can,
But you
and
can.
you shall, because
You
you
can and you shall.
yeah, that's your prescription. You can and you shall,
Yeah.
because you don't want to experience any more anxiety. This is how you prevent it, and
Yeah.
you're working upstream with us, okay?
And that's empowering yourself.
Yeah,
Because I love it because I feel empowered now in this area of finances.
me too.
That we know what's going on. I feel empowered by it. I feel wise with it.
And we have more money.
And we have more because we're having
Smart.
wisdom with it,
Yes.
financial wisdom.
Yeah, it's a very exciting,
And it's-
empowering
Yeah.
event.
Yeah. And it's learnable.
Yeah, it's learnable. Did you hear that? It's learnable. Let me see. The last one was relationships. I will initiate and invest in solid relationships daily. Okay. So I can only speak from my experience. Your experience is going to be different, but the number one relationship that helps me be ready for the day is having time with God and reading the Bible and learning his promises. So that to me is like the number one relationship. I don't know what it is for you. You have to decide what that is. But that number one relationship helps me, so that after my coffee and after my time with God, I'm acceptable to the world. And then I leave the room and I'm able to say, hi, babe, how are you doing? And,
Yeah.
I don't hurt anybody. But if I don't do that, if I don't get right with the number one relationship in the morning, plus my coffee, I'm bound to hurt somebody. And it's because I didn't get filled up with the number one relationship that fills my heart.
Yeah.
How about you?
I 100% agree with everything you said.
101%?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
100% agree with everything you said there. And beyond that also, I invest in our relationship, you and me.
Oh, yeah.
Beyond that is, and whoever you're with, if you do have a partner, you don't, or whoever's closest to you, I invest in that by hug, hold, kiss, saying you look fantastic today, you are amazing, complimenting truthfully.
Cooking beautiful meals.
Yeah, serving, just being there and acknowledging and having respect and all those things. I mean, that's investing in that relationship.
Oh, that fills up my
You
love
know,
tank. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
And the same thing, I know you do that for me too. So it's investing.
Yeah,
in
I
each
tell you
other.
how hot you look and how
thank you.
handsome you look and what a hunka bunka pack of burning love you are.
All righty. Well, we just got kicked off the airwaves. Yeah, but yeah, investing in that relationship.
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's
And
very
that's how
important.
we do it, is just empowering the other person and
Yeah.
and loving them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that with relationships, it's investing into those daily
Mhm.
and not just, oh, it's been 3 days since I got a hug. Yeah. Oh, well, that's not really, a daily
And we talk to
investment.
each other nicely. We respect each other.
Yeah.
I know I just interrupted you, but we do that all the
Oh,
time. Yeah.
that's
But we respect each other,
Yeah.
that's key.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that didn't happen right from the beginning.
No, that's learned.
That's
I mean,
learned.
these are all learned skills,
Yeah.
but as you go along, that's applying the wisdom of life
Mhm.
to all these different skills you learn.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you,
Mhm.
do you have a 24-hour rule
Yes.
when, maybe those kapows do come up or they do hit you,
Mm.
that they come at you as I don't know if you want to use the word rule or guideline, but just what do people do? Okay, when that stuff, boom, there it comes. What's your guideline for that?
Okay, well, that's a good word. Guideline, rule,
Yeah.
prescription, because I'm a doctor.
What's your prescription, doctor, for when people get a bam? What are they? Okay.
Yeah, what do I do?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and you're knocked out because somebody hurt you, or finances, or health, or kids, or
It's that kapow
life.
you were
Yeah,
talking about.
it's
Yeah.
the kapow. So the best advice I can give you is what I implement in my life, and that is implement the 24-hour rule. And the 24-hour rule is set a boundary around yourself for 24 hours to do whatever you need to do to get strong again, to fill yourself up. For me, it's going into the shower and crying.
Mhm.
I love a good snotty cry in the shower. It's just a nice clean place to get cleaned up, and I just let out the tears. And just so you know, men, because the ladies understand this, crying is really good. It just equilibrates a lot of your hormones, your stress hormones.
Equilibrates.
Yeah,
Wow.
it just equalizes.
Okay.
Is that a better word?
Oh, that works for me.
Okay.
I don't
It
think
just
I'd have heard of it.
equalizes, it stabilizes is another
Yeah,
word.
yeah.
So equilibrate, equalizes, or stabilizes your hormones. So you're not like all stressed out. So crying is good. And I encourage more and more men around the world to cry. And I applaud you for crying more as
thank you.
as
Yeah.
you've become so healthy and strong and sexy as you age.
Now, just a disclaimer there, I think pretty sure I know the answer to this, but what you're saying there when you're saying take a 24-hour break, do what you want to do, you're not talking about those escapism things that were negative you talked at the beginning, like, oh, okay, well, just go out and gamble for 24 hours or, go get drunk for 20. You don't mean any of those, right?
No, do things
Yeah.
that are good for you, like
Yeah.
a chocolate bar or something.
Yeah.
86% dark chocolate. And don't make any major decisions in that 24 hours. If you're just don't make any major decisions in that 24 hours. Outside of that 24 hours, don't ever make major decisions if you're hungry, angry, or tired.
Right.
Don't do it. You're going to really regret it. So that's my 24-hour rule.
Yeah.
Guideline, prescription for you. Okay.
So in that 24 hours, I mean, something that works for me is either exercise, go for a walk, go to the beach for a walk. For me, it's just getting out into nature and just breathing and letting nature take care of me.
Right.
Really.
Right.
I mean, that's what works for me a lot.
Right.
And if you're not near a beach or wherever you may be, if you can get outside and just allow the world and to kind of relax for that 24 hours and just cry, go scream, go into the forest and scream, if you need to, like, I can't believe this.
Or you can scream into a pillow.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if somebody likes to get outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Let it fly.
Yeah.
Get it out.
Right.
And then when you come back, it's like, okay, I'm ready now to think properly. What do I need to do here? I'm ready to
go now.
Yeah.
That's me. That's my personality.
Ready to get back up and go and
Yeah.
take care of this kapow because I'm ready to move on now. I've had a break.
This will not control me.
Yeah.
This is not bigger than me. I got help.
And those habits you spoke about is going to help you come back very quickly, because if not, that's the problem. If you haven't worked on these daily habits you talked about, who knows? It could be days, weeks, months until you recover and be like, okay, I guess I'm going to tackle this now. That's the key.
That is the key. Because if you don't deal with it, it's just going to continue on and continue on. I did want to say that before we land, I did want to say that I have noticed when we've got a lot going on that I start getting super anxious, like I'm all alone. And oh my gosh, it's all on me. It's all on my shoulders to do this big thing called Doctoronamission. And Michael does the best he can, but he can't do everything. So I start feeling very alone and very, quote, overwhelmed. So one of the verses that I have memorized and I read over and over again, and I say to myself from the Bible is, Father God goes before me. I call God Father God because he's my father. Father God goes before me and is with you, Isabel. He will never leave you or let you down. Wow, that is just huge. And do not be afraid and don't be discouraged. That's Deuteronomy 31:8, if you want to read it and personalize it to yourself. Memorizing that and saying that to myself throughout the day when I'm feeling like, really helps, because you're speaking to yourself. You're not listening to yourself anymore. Like, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. You're actually talking back to yourself, a promise from God, because that's what the Bible is promises from God. And Reverend Billy Graham says, this should be the motto of every follower of Jesus Christ. Never stop praying, no matter how dark and hopeless it may seem. Oh my gosh, that is such good medicine for those of you who believe like that, okay? So to wrap it up, when life takes you by surprise, pause, regroup, and get back up. You got this. You have this. You're preparing your tools upstream so that when life happens, you got this, okay? So remain unstoppable. And that is a wrap.
Yes.
Unless you had something else to say.
I was just going to say, if you're enjoying the MD and Chef Team podcast, please like, comment, subscribe, let others know, because we are here to serve you, to serve your friends, serve your family, and make a difference in the lives of many, many people. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you again on another episode.
Remain unstoppable. Bye-bye.
Peace on earth.